Pat Riley pulled off the biggest trade of the offseason by bringing Giannis to South Beach. And now the question isn't whether Miami can compete. The question is, how are the Miami Heat going to fill out their roster so they can compete? So the Miami Heat have anywhere from 3 to 4 roster spots that they need to fill. And it's going to be difficult, obviously. They're hard capped under the new CBA, and they're a first apron team. And so they have like 17 to 18 million that they can play around with. And right now, they desperately need to add shooting around Giannis and Bam. They need offensive minded players. They need playmakers, perhaps. We need a backup center. But for this episode, we're going to talk about 2 veterans that are emerging as players to watch for that the Miami Heat can either trade for or sign through free agency. And those 2 players are Klay Thompson and Khris Middleton. So both are former NBA champions, both can shoot, both bring leadership and championship experience. But which one of them do you think makes the most sense for the Miami Heat? So let's break it down. We'll start off with Khris Middleton. So if you're building a team around Giannis, why not bring back the teammate that helped him win his first NBA championship? So Middleton and Giannis spent over a decade together playing in Milwaukee, and they already know how to play off each other. They have chemistry. There's no need for adjusting. They're friends. They get along really well, and it would be a great fit to bring him off of the bench. And we know Middleton is no longer an all-star. He's not the same player that he was at once. He's dealt with injuries over the past several seasons. He's going to be 35 years old heading into next season. So those are some issues. But still, as a role player off your bench, like, he's not that bad. Like, we need shooting and experience, and he could bring that. So last season, splitting time between the Wizards and Mavericks, he averaged 10 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 2.8 assists, shot 36% from 3, shot 39% though with Dallas after he was traded before the NBA deadline. So pretty good numbers still. Like, they're not eye-popping numbers, but that's not what Miami needs. We're getting Giannis. We got our superstar. We got Bam Adebayo. We have our all-star. Like, what we need is someone who could space the floor, who can make the right basketball plays, who can knock down wide open shots when Giannis collapses the defense, when he puts a lot of pressure on the rim, someone who has won a championship before, someone who has a high basketball IQ. And that is exactly what you're going to get if you add Khris Middleton to this team. And the best part is, can we sign him to the veteran minimum? So if we can sign him for like $3 million or less, that's tremendous value. Again, he's not going to play 35 minutes per game. Give him like 18 minutes off the bench. And if he's cooking, obviously, then you give him more opportunity in the regular season. But he's someone who's simply going to come off the bench. He's going to be able to score when needed, hit the 3 ball, provide leadership, hit open jumpers, like I said. And during the playoffs, that's where you can trust him the most. So basically, load manage him to a certain degree during the regular season and save him and make sure that he's healthy for the postseason when it matters. So I think reuniting him with Giannis could be a really good fit, especially for the cost and for the value. He's an unrestricted free agent. That is someone we should definitely go after. And I think we're probably going to get him at this point. I really feel like he's going to sign and join the Miami Heat to reunite with Giannis and Bobby Portis. Now let's talk about the most intriguing possibility and option, and I think that's Klay Thompson. So unlike Middleton, Klay isn't a free agent. He has 1 year left on his contract, so Miami would have to trade for him, which makes it a little more complicated. We don't know if he's on the trade block. We don't know if he wants to be traded. We don't know if he can get bought out, but the Mavericks are entering a rebuild after moving several players, and Klay is entering again the final year of his contract, making around like 15 million, I think. So if Dallas decides to continue to get younger, they just drafted, I think it was Merez from Michigan, and they just got the Michigan coach. So it seems like they're going to go younger, obviously. So would they move him? I think it's a possibility. And from Miami's perspective, Klay can still give you exactly what you need again. 3-point shooting. He's not in his prime, but he's still one of the best shooters on the planet, basically, probably the second or third best shooter of all time. And last season, he was still solid, averaging 14 points per game, shot 39% from 3. Um, which is great. He's still shooting at a high clip. And so imagine the spacing that he could provide next to Giannis. If he was a little bit younger, he's 34, 35 himself as well. So similar age to Middleton. Um, not the same Klay, obviously, like not the same two-way shooting guard that he used to be, because he used to be a really good defender, um, decent ball handler, but he's known for his shooting. He's not going to attack the rim, but that's what Giannis is there for. Giannis is going to attack the paint and put pressure on the rim. He's going to get downhill. He's going to drive in transition, and that's going to leave Klay open, possibly in the corner at above the break. Like, that's going to be a nightmare for defenses. So that's someone I think that would be a great fit. He's also obviously a 4-time NBA champion, a 5-time All-Star. He understands what it takes to win. Like, the only concern is the cost. Miami doesn't have many assets left after acquiring Giannis. So if we can trade Niko Jovic, who just signed his extension last season, where he's going to have 4 years, 60 million, making 16 million next season. I don't know if they want that, but he is someone young who fits the timeline for the Mavericks. So maybe you want to put him next to Cooper Flag, perhaps. Could be a good fit. So would Dallas accept that? I don't know if they would, but would they buy him out? Perhaps. And maybe Miami can pick him up for a cheaper option. Would they give him the mid-level? I don't think we would give him the mid-level. That's too much. But the big question is, which player would you choose? And I mean, realistically, I think it's going to be Middleton because of price and because he's available. So I think, and because you play with Giannis and won a championship with him. So in my opinion, I think Khris Middleton is a lock to join this team as one of the players we need to add. We can add even up to 5 players. We have 10 on the roster officially. So we have 5 spots. The Heat like to keep a spot open usually. We had Terry Rozier, basically his spot available, and didn't waive him last year for some reason. So we operated with 14 players, 13 players at times. So we just need 14 players minimum. And so I think we're going to have to at least add 4 players. He could be one, Middleton, that could be very cost effective for this team. And so that's my bet, is that we're going to get Middleton for the veteran minimum, I think. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Who would you rather have between the two? Who do you think we're actually going to get? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Miami Heat content.